Sonny, what are you doing or what are you saying, as a matter of fact? Like, I mean, I just think that you have it out for Trump, even though he's no longer the president of the United States. Hey everyone, I'm back. So I had to give my 2 cents on this topic. Now, as you all know, Dave Chappelle was tackled on stage by this man who, you know, is supposed to be homeless. I said what I had to say about him getting in. I think that it was very, a little suspect. But we got to have an honest conversation about Sunny Hostin. Because a lot of what she says is very, very, very dangerous rhetoric. So Sunny Hostin made a comment a couple of days ago in regard to the whole situation that happened to Dave Chappelle. And according to the New York Post, she basically blamed Trump for the Dave Chappelle attack. So this is what she said on The View. So it reads, Sunny Hostin blames Donald Trump for Dave Chappelle attack on The View. Donald Trump's presidency sparked a shock wave of violence, according to the women of The View. Following the shocking assault of comedian Dave Chappelle on Tuesday, host Sunny Hostin blamed Trump as catalyst behind a spate of brazen attacks, claiming that he released some incivility across the country. Co-host Whoopi Goldberg prompted Hostin's accusations during Wednesday's episode, asking the View panel, what do you think is happening? I mean, it's happening on airplanes. It's happening on street corners. Responding to Goldberg, Joy Behar first launched a litany of amplifying factors. The pandemic, the opioid crisis, the fact that Trump was out there saying things like, just knock the hell out of them. I promise you, I'll pay for the legal fees, when he had a heckler. She was likely referring to the 2016 Trump rally in Iowa, in which the candidate urged constituents to be on the defensive and the offensive. The View host Sunny Hostin labeled former President Donald Trump as the catalyst behind a spate of brazen attacks, claiming that he released the country's civility across the country. So if you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, I promise you, I'll pay for the legal fees, I promise, Trump said at the time. Behar added that the moment Will Smith slapped Oscars presenter Chris Rock on stage was the piece de resistance, if you will. However, Lindsey Granger, a guest co-host on the ABC talk show, rebuffed Behar, insisting, this is not a political thing, come on. I know you want to wrap it on to politics. This is really about security, Granger added. She further elaborated that there was nothing particularly right-leaning about Smith's slap during the March 27th ceremony. It didn't happen before, Behar shrugged. I do think Trump unleashed some incivility, at least in our country, Hostin affirmed. Circling back to Chappelle, Granger maintained that no one knows anything about the attacker's motivation. Behar concluded the exchange by noting a certain amount of impulse control lacking in the population these days. Chappelle was not seriously injured, nor particularly rattled. Apparently, after a man rushed the 48-year-old entertainer during his set at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, police reported that the suspect in custody, Isaiah Lee, 23, was carrying a replica handgun that had a blade inside at the time. It is still unclear what inspired the attack, the LAPD said, but they found that the assailant, a rapper, had recorded some songs in praise of My President Trump, which is true. He did do that. Now, I'm going to make a few notations. Number one, you have these baby boomers. Well, Joy Behar is actually she's a World War II baby. Silent generation, World War II baby. Whoopi is a baby boomer. Sunny Hostin is Generation X. Now, the new lady, Lindsey Granger, who I hope they have her on the show. I believe she's part of Generation Y. I could be wrong. But there is something that's very hostile energy that they have towards this woman. They feel that she's a threat to them. And I think so. I think they find her threatening because she's a black Republican. She's a Republican. She's black, but she's also a Republican. Sonny has a problem with Trump. And I think it has to do with her being a prosecutor. Behar has a problem with him. And it has to do with her being a Democrat and a liberal. Whoopi Goldberg, I don't think she has anything personal with Trump, really. I just think it's the racist rhetoric he did. But I don't think she hates him. Because Whoopi doesn't really have a hateful bone in her body to really be honest about that. But I just wish that she would start making more movies. Because I think that her brand really has suffered really being on that show. Not the first couple of years. But once Trump got into office, I do think she should have left. But hey, you know, she's been on there 14 years, longer than a lot of people. I knew she would be on that show one day, and I predicted it. Now, Sunny Hostin has a problem. And the problem is, you're blaming Trump for every little thing that goes on. First of all, Behar, you're trying to accuse Will Smith slapping Chris Rock as being influenced by Trump's rhetoric. First of all of y'all are wrong. What's going on is political identity extremism. That's been taking place since before Trump even stepped foot and announced his presidency. Okay? This goes all the way back. This goes all the way back to 2007 with the Tea Party, okay? Now, if you want to blame some Republicans, blame them on that. The Tea Party started this, and it was in response to Obama being elected. Now, I have my issues with Obama. Let's make that clear. I want to make that clear. But fair is fair. These people, what they did was they went out of their way to not just state that Obama was incompetent, Obama shouldn't have been president, but they even went as far, and I want to say the Christian right extremists, because they even went as far as to say that Obama was an antichrist, and if you voted for him, you were going to go to hell. So they spooked people, okay? Then Trump comes with the birther. Now, Orly Tace was the one who started it, but his name is what propelled it to higher places. Then what really sparked the political identity extremists on the left was George Zimmerman killing Trayvon Martin. That's what started it. So the late 2000s, early 2010s was the birth of what I call the 314 movement, which was political identity extremists. PIE, 314, PI, if you know what I mean. That's what I call it. The 314s are out of control, and they're both. They're 314s from the left, 314s from the right. But they're extreme, and that's what's really going on. And Will Smith was a supporter of Obama. Why do you think he works on Netflix like he does? You know? And Sonny, like I said in my last upload, Sonny, you need to really, because see, Behar is a comedian as well as a teacher. She was a teacher. But Sonny, you're a lawyer. What are you doing? What are you doing, homegirl? And I feel that you're really antagonizing Lindsey Granger. And I hope they make her permanent. Make her permanent. Because you can tell she don't like that woman. And I'm going to talk about her later on. But I'm going to call it a night because I need to listen to some more commentary. No, I'm going to come back for one more. And I'll be back later.